Hi friends, I'm Sarah, a mom of two little preschool boys, and I love sharing with you resources and life from our family's bilingual preschool life, everyday life. And today I'm sharing with you a comparison between Usborne musical soundbooks and the Story Orchestra. So I love to research things before I purchase them, especially if it's something like a book that I can find a comparable book from another company. So this video is all about the Story Orchestra versus Usborne musical soundbooks. If you are in an Usborne party and you see all these Usborne musical soundbooks, you want to see what's inside of them because their website doesn't really have a lot of information or pictures. You can find a lot of those videos with the sounds going through the entire book, but what you cannot find is comparisons with other similar books from other companies. I happen to have the Story Orchestra books and Usborne books, and I do have a favorite among them, and today I'm going to share with you just some information about each of these types of books and which one our family loves more and the reasons why we like that more. Before I launch into this comparison, if you haven't yet done so, I would love it if you would subscribe and hit the like button. It really helps my channel out. But if you are interested in bilingual preschool family life with travel thrown in there a bit, then hopefully you will find great value in this channel, and I'd love to have you join our community here. Now, as you can see from our pile of books, we have quite a few of each of these kinds of books. So we do own both Usborne and the Story Orchestra. At the very beginning, let me just make clear that if you're looking for one book that really encompasses a lot of different styles of music and is a musical soundbook, I recommend Allegro. This is a book that is my go-to if I want my boys to be exposed to famous composers, famous orchestra pieces, and good length clips of each of those pieces. I love it. My brothers who have Down syndrome love this book, and my sons love this book. So it's a beautiful, beautiful book. It carries a lot of emotion with it and helps you explore emotion through music. That being said, let me show you the Usborne and the Story Orchestra books. First, we got Usborne sound books. I got these through a party. I got them for free, and that is a benefit of if you have an Usborne party. I'm not really a fan of Usborne's system of selling their products, but I do like their books. And the Usborne musical books are one of our favorites. They are pricey, and this is one of the biggest drawbacks to Usborne books to me is the price tag that's on them. With these books, you have about 4 to 5 pages, and 4 to 5 sound clips. These sound clips are a bit longer in comparison to the Story Orchestra sound clips, but they often don't really have a story with them. And in this book, for example, there's a theme, and you can have lots of different composers' music on each page, but you don't have a storyline or anything like that. It's just more of a calming book for younger kids. And I feel like these books are targeted towards younger kids because there isn't much writing inside of them. We have had these books for a good while, I would say 5-6 months, and the batteries have yet to die on us. There is a button switch in the back that turns it off and on, and my boys know how to do that themselves. The buttons are easy to press, so there's no trouble there. They get them to work all by themselves. That is a plus. And these are hardcover board book type books. So the pages aren't extremely thick, but they also aren't flimsy, and they can withstand little boys playing with them. And I have a 2-year-old and a 3.5-year-old just for reference, and we've been using these for several months with them, and they're still in pretty good condition. The only thing I would say is that the last page is a bit thick, and my boys always think there's one more page, and so this corner gets a little bit torn up. If you want, you could just buffer these corners with a bit of tape or something like that so they know that they can't turn that last page. They're nice, they're really beautiful. We do like them. We have used them in travel, and it has helped with entertaining our boys. There are some that come with themes like the 4 Seasons and the Carnival of the Animals. There are also stories. So they do have the Nutcracker. Again, it's very short, so the storyline is extremely short. There's very little writing on each page, but there is a sound bite from several different scenes within the ballet, and my son loved this book. This was his favorite out of all of the Usborne sound books. My oldest son just played this over and over and over again. He has the tune memorized to the Nutcracker Suite, and he can pick it up anywhere. We don't have all of them, as you can see in the Usborne Soundbook collection, but we do have a good selection of them, and I don't think we'll be picking up more of these though. And here is why. We discovered the Story Orchestra, and the Story Orchestra just has so much more to it than the Usborne Musical Soundbook. If you watched my video about preschool music education at home, then you know I did not have these yet, and so I wasn't able to include this in that video. If I redo that video at some point, I will include these, and I will not include the Usborne sound books. These books are bigger. They have better illustrations, in my opinion, that go along better with the story, and they tend to choose orchestral pieces that have a storyline to them. There are a few of these books that don't have a story within the song itself, The Four Seasons by Vivaldi, and also The Carnival of the Animals. But their other books have a great storyline, and my son finds value in these even with just their story. So eventually, when the musical sound box stops working, we'll still be able to keep these and have the storyline in them, whereas with the Usborne sound books, we have basically almost nothing, and they can be little kids' books for babies, but this offers a better value, in my opinion, for a broader age range. So as you can see, the buttons in this book are not the same as the buttons in the Usborne book. They don't have the little pieces that you can see, like the technology, feeling your fingers touch and playing the sound. Instead, it's just a piece of paper, and on the last page, you actually have where these little dots are connecting to the internal mechanism within the book. The book has withstood a very, very good amount of wear for my boys. They read these multiple times daily, and we've had them for about 1-2 months now, so we are not quite as experienced in how long these batteries will last and how long these sound boxes will last, but I do think they will last a good while, and the batteries are not difficult to replace. You have 3 of the little round batteries inside of here, a bit more expensive than normal batteries in my experience, but I think these books are worth it. We have In the Hall of the Mountain King, Swan Lake, again the Nutcracker, it's a family favorite, The Sleeping Beauty, and The Magic Flute. If you know these musical pieces, you know that some of these are operas, others are symphonies, and some of them have some folk tales with them. Our favorites from this collection of the Story Orchestra are In the Hall of the Mountain King. My sons ask for this constantly. I will hear the music playing. They have recognized the musical pieces when they've just been playing on our music speaker in our home, and so they really, really are attentive to the sounds. And then also the Magic Flute. This one is also a great storyline. And The Sleeping Beauty, which kind of surprised me because I have boys. I'm not expecting them to gravitate more towards the fairy tales. I don't know why that's my expectation, but it has been. But in this story, my son really likes, just really likes the storyline. And we have found that with most of these books, the buttons are easy to press. But if you look at Amazon reviews, and if you get some book, like a good selection of books, you will find that probably 1 or 2 of them are going to be more difficult to press. And this is our experience with The Sleeping Beauty. And this one, even I cannot press the button and have any sound come, but my boys have learned to turn to the last page so that there is no thickness of paper between their fingers and the button, and to press there. So they're just looking at the color of the button and matching it with the color on the last page, which I think is a great exercise in their skills. They're also flipping pages back and forth and refining their place in the story. So they have no trouble with it. They don't complain about it, except my youngest, who is almost 2, and he will get frustrated with the book and he'll set it aside and find a different one. My older one, he's figured it out. He's fine with it. With these stories, the music bites are shorter. They are shorter than Allegro for sure. That has the longest sound bites of all of these books. And they're shorter than the Usborne sound bites. But they give highlights from the piece that are recognizable, very famous, that you would recognize them if they're playing in some music somewhere. You would probably pick it up really quickly. Even within the Hall of the Mountain King, he has picked up the little pieces that he's heard and connected them with the larger piece. Our family definitely recommends the Story Orchestra over the Usborne musical sound books. We really love them. If we have trouble with them in the future, I'll update you on that, hopefully in the community tab once I get that started. But we really appreciate these. They are not board books though, so they are a little more fragile for little hands. I recommend these for ages 3 and up. My 2-year-old does it with me, but I do have to caution him to be careful. And we do have a page or two that is pulling a little bit apart from the binding in the back. Not a big deal, but we might have to replace these at some point. Another reason why we like the Story Orchestra over the Usborne sound books is that it tends to be cheaper. We find that the price point of these is much more value to us. We get much more for the money than we do with the Usborne books. So I'm not bashing on Usborne, but I do think that the Story Orchestra has outdone them in their quality of books this time. So what do you think of the Story Orchestra and Usborne sound books? Let me know in the comments below. I love to hear from you guys. And if you haven't yet done so, ring the notification bell when you subscribe so that you will be notified when my next video comes out and can get updates about more music books, more music resources, and homeschool resources and bilingual resources for your family. Thanks so much for joining me today. I recommend that you check out my video about music education for homeschooled preschool students here in this video. See you there. Bye.